Hi, welcome to Hype and Spin. Today we're going to talk about how to set the suspension right for your RNineT. We're going to start at the front, and the manual talks about that you need two people for that. Actually, I show you a method where you can do it all by yourself. And then, secondly, we're going to set the rear suspension. Let's get started. A few things you need to set the front suspension. So I recommend to have this cable tie, something to measure the distance. We are measuring here in Bavaria in centimeters. I recommend to have a pen, paper, this little nifty tool which comes with your BMW. It's a little adapter. You need it to not scratch your beautiful screws. Then a 17 nut, also metric, an extension, and these pliers. That's it. So the handbook recommends that you remove any excessive luggage on your bike. Make sure you have it in standard operating setup. I now will show you how to measure the proper distances at the sliding tube. The handbook talks about doing this with two people. You can do it all by yourself by simply using a cable tie. Let me apply that. We're going to remove this again once we're done. So once you have it around here, slide it all the way to the top. What we now need to measure first is the actual sag, which is the distance between the sliding tube all the way here to the bottom. You need to do this while the bike is standing upright. So let's do it. Carefully lift the bike up from its stand and put it in an upright position. Do not bounce it. Then gently put it back down on the stand. What you can do now is measure the distance between the top of the cable tie and here at the bottom of the fork. And that is exactly 8.4 centimeters. So let's write it down so we don't forget. We now need to do the same exercise with the bike standing in an upright position with you sitting on it. Carefully bring it in an upright position. Do not bounce it. Sit down. Maybe lift your feet for a second or two. Then put the bike back on its stand. Again, you need to measure the distance between the top of the cable tie and the bottom of the fork. 7.5. Now you have to take the difference between the first measurement and the second measurement. Here in this case it's 9 millimeter. That is within the range that BMW is recommending, from 6 to 10 millimeters. So let's say we want to decrease the distance a bit and we want to bring it to about 0.7. Let's aim for that. So what you need to do is you put your adapter on here, and the reason you have to do it is that you don't damage these beautiful screws. As you can see, mine are already a bit scratched, but that's fine. I like a proper patina on my bike. So you put it there, and then you need to make the same revolutions on both sides so it stays symmetrical. And the way to do it is, I show you this little trick. I use this wrench, and don't worry, there's not much power needed to do this. This is simply, for me, a mechanism to count this better. So I hold it like this, and then I start winding. Let's try how it looks after 5 turns. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 5. After having done this adjustment, we of course need to redo the 2 measurements we did before. Let's do it one more time. Push the cable tower way up. And again, bring the bike in an upright position. No bouncing. Put it back down. And now, first measurement. We're at 8.7. Now, let's measure it with my body weight. We have to bring the bike in an upright position while sitting on it. So bring it up in an upright position. Carefully sit down. Lift your feet a bit. That's it. Put it back on the stand. And measure. Now, let's take the second measurement. $80. So now the difference is 7 millimeters. That's right where I want it. And that, everyone, is how you set the preload on the front fork. Let's take a look at the back. Setting the rear suspension is quite simple. If you ride alone, you turn this knob all the way to the left, and then you turn it back by 2 full turns. 1, 2. That's it. When you ride 2 up, you turn this knob all the way to the right, and then 1 turn. The final adjustment that you can do is the dampener. Here at the front fork is a 10-point scale. You simply can use a screwdriver and then move it step by step. Let's take a look at the rear dampener. To set the dampener on your rear fork, you basically have to use this screw. I recommend you use the same setting like you would do for the preload. So, meaning if you ride 1 up, you turn it all the way to the left and then turn 2 full turns back to the right. Then you ride 2 up, turn it all the way to the right, and then 1 full turn back. That's it. So, I very much hope you liked today's episode. It would be great hearing from you. Please leave a comment. I'm looking forward to catching you in the next one. Keep the shining side up.